Hi, my name is Hakim Bellamy. I'll be graduating University of New Mexico School of Law this year. I'm a father, I'm a poet, and I started law school at 44 years old, so I'm living proof that you can still be anything you want to be when you grow up. Some school years are scary, like the last year of high school, like the first year of college. Some school years make history. Some school years end wars. Some school years win elections. Some school years demand change, and some school years change us. Some school years are truly one of a kind. And though school year 24-25 is truly in a class of its own, you are not in a class alone. I grew up in southern New Jersey. I had both my mom and my dad in the home. Both of them had careers in computer science, more or less, but my parents kind of always had a second job, and one of my mom's second jobs was being a paralegal. So that was like the closest I had to a lawyer in my family, was my mom working for a lawyer. It was close enough to where I was like, oh, people do that. It's a thing you can do. It's a thing you can be. And then later, it became a thing I wanted to be. So growing up in New Jersey, I became familiar with poetry. And as I got older, I was able to go kind of check out, the 5 Spot and some of the other places where some of my creative heroes were cutting their teeth. But there was no way I was gonna feel confident enough, self-confident enough to do that or read any poems of that nature in front of people. Then fast forward to I'm in college and I am writing poems to impress my girlfriends, and some of them are like, this is actually pretty good, you should read it somewhere. And there was a talent show here, a talent show there, one thing led to another, and when I started getting a good reception for it, that's when it was like, oh, yeah, these things aren't just for me. So when I moved to New Mexico in January of 2005, I just got admitted into the Communications and Journalism Master's Program. I really feel like it was that program that really held me and gave me some grounding here. In many ways, my art and my academics both fed into me right there in the C&J program. The more I kind of pursued my art, the less time I had for my academics. It took me 9 years, to finish my master's. I came in 2005. I got my master's conferred in 2014. They just always left the light on. In 2005, the Albuquerque Slam team, our team of 5, you start with a field of 32, and then you're 16, and then you're 8-4-2 national championship. So we won that. 3 of the members of that team were part of the Lobo Slam at the time. We won that too. So in the span of from August to April, we won 2 national championships. But I think the other thing I'm most proud of, obviously, is in 2012, I was named the poet laureate, the first poet laureate for the city of Albuquerque. And that is a recognition that I'll always cherish, mainly as a transplant, as someone who wasn't born here, for this city to entrust me with being the first. It's always gonna mean the moment Albuquerque chose me, and I am eternally grateful.
He's widely published and he's got a long resume, but he's really just a great guy, and he's a great asset for us, and he's a great human being. So with that, I'd like to introduce Hakim Bellamy.
Yeah. Wow. So those of you that know me know that I'm not a man of few words.
I definitely found myself proudly in a lane of poetry that was unapologetically speaking for populations and communities that are oftentimes underrepresented. And that's what I choose to write about. That's what I'm passionate about. And so doing that, as well as the job that I had at the radio station when I was working at KUNM and showing up at these different events in a community, you begin to build relationships with the population that you're working with and covering. And then some of them might have found out that I'm a poet and then say, hey, maybe you could come read a poem at the next rally. And then all of a sudden you're in, like all the way up to your neck, because you believe in what they're fighting for and what they're fighting about. You've played different roles by helping to publicize it at the radio station, but now you're on stage kind of sharing a poem about this thing that we all agree that we want and need from the people who make decisions in our community. And so it kind of was like a logical progression where I just became, I just desired more solutions than were being offered. I guess that's the best way to say it. There's kind of two ways to kind of solve the problems in your community. Either you go run for office or you advocate, and I don't plan on running for office. So it was like, I need to become an advocate, and where do my skills uniquely fit in? Because there's lots of ways to be an advocate. You can be a community organizer, right? There's lots of things you can do. You can be a first responder or to be a service organization, kind of meeting the needs of the community. You can run for office, or you can fight it out in court. And once I start fighting it out in court, I've done 3 of those 4 things. And that feels good to me. So, yeah, if you can, you should, as my mom used to always say. And UNM Law School has taught me that I can, so I should. I've been allowed to be 8 different versions of Hakim in Albuquerque and getting ready for the 9th, my lawyer era, as we say. And so it's nice, and I feel like I've been supported and encouraged in every different version of myself that I get to show up as. And so UNM has been a huge part of that.